kind of the part. Okay, it's a journey. The important thing to note is that you're not going to be one and done. It's not. It's always going to be something you're doing to upgrade your measurement infrastructure, your decision making processes. It's always going to be a journey. And what you want to think about is, I think we'll start here, right? You end up with a roadmap of hypothesis, testable decisions we talked about. This is going to determine your roadmap. Hey, these are all the big decisions that I'm about to make. I want to really grow my mid funnel because that's where I've kind of capped out all my lower funnel channels. My search is not growing anymore. In fact, it's getting worse. Or my catalog program is really beginning to decline. I need to figure out how to go digitize my program and go sort of more Facebook and social. You have a bunch of things that you have to do as a business, and let's call it a go-to-market roadmap. The go-to-market roadmap is going to be supported by a measurement roadmap, advanced attribution roadmap. This roadmap should determine how you build infrastructure, what pieces you build in, right? Whether you do an MMM, whether you do testing, whether you're just good enough with post-purchase surveys, right? Whether you need to go enhance your in-house attribution, and how much infrastructure do I need, a full data warehouse? Can I just live in Excel and Google Sheets for a while? All of those decisions you make based on what is the most important investments you make based on what decisions you're about to make, okay? And you try and co-opt your existing infrastructure. You don't almost never have had to go in and wipe the slate clean and start from scratch. And almost nine out of 10 times I come in, I have something to work with. I can build with the pieces already in place. So I would encourage you guys to co-opt your existing infrastructure and build with that in mind, okay? All right. Now, teams. How do you build teams for advanced attribution? What do good measurement teams have? Good measurement teams have 3 disciplines. Right? Sometimes they're 3 independent people, but it could be 2 people, it could be 1 person, but 3 specific disciplines, okay? Everybody, when we talk about advanced attribution, understands the role of a data scientist. Okay, we know we need to build marketing mix models, we have to do incrementality tests and come up with counterfactual estimates and all that stuff. So the role of a data scientist is somewhat understood or sort of like viscerally kind of acknowledged, okay? Now, what happens is for the data scientist to do anything, there needs to be a solution architect who needs to bring all the data sets together. She needs to go figure out, okay, we're trying to build media mix models, which means we need 2 years worth of weekly data, and I need data across all the channels in the same granularity with this taxonomy and whatnot, right? Or maybe we're just trying to do a test for so-and-so channels. So I don't need platform data, I just need my transaction data. So having an understanding of what we're trying to do, bringing the right data sets together in the right granularity, in the right scope is what a solution architect does, okay? Now, once you do all this, you end up with the results as you probably just now you're able to kind of perceive. It's not going to be simple. It's not going to be the results are going to be clean and say, go left, go right. There is an interpretation that needs to bring together business acumen, media acumen, measurement acumen, and come together and make decisions in a way the business can accept. And then there is communication and evangelism and advocacy and all the leadership that's required to get those decisions in market and grow the brand, right? So that's what a strategist does. So typically this is a marketer. This is usually a data person. So it could be we call them solution architects. Sometimes you call them solution engineers, ad tech engineers, data engineers. They're all different kinds of data people who can play this role, but it's also a business function, business technical role. It's not a pure technical role. There is a fair amount of understanding of media measurement that needs to be blended with the understanding of data to make this work. And the data scientist is a classic data scientist, but they also have to understand marketing data science. What are the angles on marketing data science, and which is what a class like this helps you understand, okay? So this is called the 3 disciplines model for org structure. Typically, you start with just staffing project teams like this. You can't go back and rebuild your entire teams on day 1 to look like this, but you can take your existing projects you're working on, make sure there are 3 layers, 3 disciplines that every project team has. There is a marketing strategist who can interpret the data for decision making. There is a solution architect who can bring the data together in a way it can be modeled. And then there's a data scientist who can actually do all the modeling to support the advanced data science needs, okay? So 3 disciplines model for measurement teams. Governance. Now let's talk about governance. How do you govern it? When you talk about governance, there are 3 types of governance, okay? One is called everybody understands data governance. You probably by now heard the words data governance multiple times. What is data governance? Data governance is data taxonomy, data quality, and data compliance, right? How do you group data, organize data in a way it actually makes sense, and you can report your channels meaningfully, you can measure them meaningfully and make decisions on them. Like, for example, if you report all of Facebook as one blob, well, you don't buy Facebook, you buy broad audience campaigns, you buy engaged audience campaigns, you buy retargeting, you do Facebook CRM. So unless you're able to like break it out in the taxonomy, it is not actionable, right? So you need the taxonomy, and that's part of data governance, right? Data quality. When you're looking at a counterintuitive insight, is the data wrong or is the insight kind of really cool, right? Is the data so off that you're getting a junk insight? Or is the data all right and you're reading something about consumers that is unique and sort of beautiful? Now, unless you have strength on the data quality side, you'll struggle to decipher what you're looking at, right? That's where you need really good understanding of data quality, data compliance. And all of us are working in data, understanding what is GDPR, CCPA, what data sets are subject to the laws of the land, and what other data is subject to, like contracts, and being able to understand how to use the data is important to make sure that we're always complying with how we're supposed to use data according to the laws of the land, right? Measurement governance. We just talked through, hey, some channels I'm going to pick MMM, some channels I'm going to pick incrementality. This can be like an anathema for lot of organizations. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? You can't just pick and choose what you want. It has to be one approach. Now, how do you govern that? How do you kind of like have somebody who's educated to be able to navigate the questions and pick the right choices and make good educated choices about why you would pick MMM over incrementality or incrementality over MMM in certain cases, right? Now, why would you do that? That is essentially a role of a measurement governor, right? What are the final estimates of channel you're publishing? Is it conservative, aggressive? And what should you take in each case, right? What are the multipliers? And the standards, incrementality testing standards, MMM standards you're using for building models. This is all measurement governance. And finally, decision governance, which is all the decision queue you have. Which ones go on the top, which ones go on the bottom? Why should you test something or the other? There is a limited amount of time every organization has to be able to test. So you got to pick and choose which ones you're going to go after. And that should be governed by the business impact you can create. But also, business impact is not always fully measurable. Maybe there is a new type of creative that you want to talk about. There's a new type of approach to go to market you want to talk about that has no data to describe it. And you won't get data until you test it. So it probably needs to get the testing oxygen for it to prove itself. So maybe some of those strategic decisions also go into the queue along with more data-driven decisions, right? That kind of management of the queue requires decision governance on queue priority, estimation of uncertainty and upside and all that stuff, right? And I have some examples of committees that you put in place, allows you to oversee all of these governance efforts, okay?